The Hope Collective is the name of the podcast, and the host is Dee Wilk, who I'm joined by right now. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Nick?
I'm good. It's so weird doing these interviews now and things over Zoom and everything. It's a bit of an adjustment, hey?
It is. I am zoomed out.
Well, hopefully you got one more in you anyways.
Yeah.
Well, tell us about the Hope Collective. What is this all about?
Well, the Hope Collective is a podcast based in Moose Jaw and spread out across Saskatchewan with our mental health resources as kind of the center. Journey to Hope and we put out a Survey Monkey in November or December, and it had two questions. If you or someone you knew were having a mental health crisis, where would you go, and what resources can you name? And the results were astonishing. A lot of people don't know where to go otherwise from the hospital or their doctor or, emergency mental health. And some of those resources are pretty overloaded right now with COVID. So we just kind of wanted to get the word out of there.
So this is the Hope Collective. I guess tell us what we get in this podcast.
So this podcast features resources across the city, across Saskatchewan, that people can go to. So whether you're looking at addictions or crisis, like the PAC team we just recorded with Tanya Moreland and Constable Sean Moll, and that was fantastic. We're really learning a lot more that, even people in mental health don't necessarily know. I just finished another one with Brenda Zinn and Moose Jaw Family Services. And our first one kicked off with CMHA, Canadian Mental Health Association, Moose Jaw. Such
a great idea to be able to direct people to one place to be able to start getting this information. So what for you was it that got you involved with doing this?
I am a second year psychology student. And I'm kind of someone that just can't sit around. I I like to get my hands in there and sitting here reading books and stuff, and that's great. But I just kind of wanted to navigate where I wanted to be. So I looked around at a couple of volunteer opportunities, and I jumped in with CMHA, doing some peer support work. And then I met Della, who's absolutely fantastic. And I jumped on with Journey to Hope on the board. And within a couple of weeks, I pitched them the idea about the podcast, and here we are.
That's great. The Journey to Hope does such amazing work in our community, obviously around suicide awareness and prevention for anyone who doesn't know, and is a part of so many different mental health initiatives. So add this to the list of many, many things they are doing. I don't know how Della keeps everything straight.
Oh, she is Wonder Woman. I just don't understand it. I struggle, and I don't have half the stuff that she has on her plate. She is amazing. She really is.
Oh, it's awesome. I think this is a really cool opportunity for people to go and get some resources through this podcast. Dee. So where can people find it? There's the big question.
So you can find us on Facebook and Instagram, and you can find us on Spotify. So you can just log on to Spotify or Apple Podcast or Google Podcasts, and we're on all of those. So you just look up the Hope Collective podcast, and we are right there.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, it's the Hope Collective. Go check it out for a lot of resources when it comes to mental health. And I know that you have new episodes coming up. What's on the way next?
The next one that releases Friday is our episode with Brenda Zinn and Moose Jaw Family Services. And then next week I will be recording with Moose Jaw Transition House.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for chatting, Dee.
Thanks, Nick.